Hey folks, welcome back to Hills Haulers Homestead. Mike today, and so I just got back. I had to do another daggone run to Rural King, and I'm a fan now. Anyways, hint hint sponsorship. No, I'm kidding. So it's cool enough today. It's like 46 degrees, but there's a lot of dampness and stuff in the air, so I just threw a sweatshirt on. So I'm going to start building the rabbit tractors to get the grow outs out of the cage soon and onto the grass, because we're still having weather enough to where they can go on the grass. And I'm not worried about rabbits freezing to death outside, because they are good for like upwards of 15 below. But they will be in a tractor. They will have an enclosed area inside that tractor, or a hide, so to speak, to where, you know, they will be away from and out of the elements if need be. And if it does get too bad and too much snow, I'll just put them back in the cages with where, you know, the other rabbits are. But I want to get them to grow them out on the grass, and there's plenty enough grass left now throughout the yard that I can get them on it. Now what I did was I went to Rural King today, and I went to Tractor Supply. Or yeah, no, I didn't go Tractor Supply, Menards. Now I do have to travel, and I actually like Menards better than I do you know, Home Depot and Lowe's. And of course you have a bigger selection and better, you know, stuff than you do at like Little Ace Hardwares and stuff like that. And any mom and pop places are just not open on a Sunday or weekends for a lot of that. But what I did was I went ahead and got the and I'll show you this here. So I got these 2x2s. They're untreated, and a couple of them are kind of chewed up, but I'll use these as for my cutouts for my braces and stuff like that. But they are just untreated 2x2. They actually refer to them as furring strips, and this is going to be the frame and everything for the rabbit tractor. Now I'm not going to paint these, because rabbits will chew on this wood. Yes, it will be ground contact wood, but I don't want to use treated wood, because it's could be detrimental to their health. So what I did was I went ahead and got the untreated, and I got 20 of them for like 65 bucks. I mean, it wasn't a terrible price, but you know, that's what it was. And I picked the best bundles. They come in bundles of 9. And what I did was I went ahead and got, while I was at Rural King, some angle braces, or corner braces, however you look at it. Now these smaller ones will be for just the uprights and everything else, while the bigger ones will be for the frame, the outer frame, the bottom part of it, the structural part of it, because it'll be moving around. So I got 2 different sizes, what they had. Now another thing I have learned, especially working with smaller wood like this, is even if you drill a pilot hole when you put your screw in there to screw them together, even if you drill a pilot hole, you can still tend to split your wood, especially cheap wood like we're getting, you know, now anyways. But you can tend to split your wood. So what I started doing, now these are 2 inch by 2 inch. So what I started doing was getting these, what they call fender washers. Can you see that? There you go. Now these are 1 1/4 inch fender washers, and they have just a big enough hole in the center of them to go for a screw to go through them. And what I'll do is I'll put these one on the end as I screw these together. So minus the braces, everywhere I'm screwing a 2x2 to a 2x2, I'll put a fender washer there, and that'll help prevent me from splitting the ends. So, and I've learned that to use these things, they're pretty great to help avoid splitting wood like that, because there's nothing like getting everything cut to the length you want, get everything set together, start to put a screw in it, and even drill a pilot hole, and the daggone thing splits. So this will help prevent that. That's just something I've learned. I am by no means an expert of any kind. So if you do it and it splits, don't blame me. It's not my fault. Another thing I went ahead and got was this fence, and this is a 3-foot fence, 3 foot tall. There's 50 feet of it, and it's 2 inches by 3 inches. And what that means is these square openings are 2 inches by 3 inches. So 2 inches wide, 3 inches tall. And this will make up the bottom, or the floor, of the rabbit tractor that'll set on the ground. That way the grass comes up through and they can eat the grass. Now, you get a lot of people going to say, oh, you can't use vinyl. You can't use vinyl coated. You can't use, well, look, first of all, this is going to be on the ground. So yes, they can chew on it, but they're more than likely going to go after the vegetation before they go after the vinyl on this. So even if they do chew on it a little bit, they will be going after the vegetation more so than the vinyl. I wouldn't use this in a suspended cage, or a cage nonetheless, you know, for rabbits if it wasn't setting on grass, because then yes, they do get bored. They like to chew. They would chew on that more. But having this as the base or the floor of the rabbit tractor will help improve, or the length, the life, or the life of this product. Okay. So, but even like I said, even if they do chew on it, it's not going to be near as much as they would as if it was just a suspended hanging cage. So, you know, and I've read everything, everybody's pro, con, neutral. Look, I choose to do it, so I'm going to do it that way. All right. So, and then of course I got some Timothy hay while I was there, and just got a few screws. Now, this is actually a really good price. So these are these are deck screws. They are outdoor screws, Star Drive, and I just got the 1.5 inch because I don't want to go too big or too deep. You know what I mean? In this thin wood. That's like $9 a box for a pound, and that's a lot cheaper than a lot of the other places. So I'm not going to complain about that. So with weather being like it is, it's still crappy weather. You know, we're looking at this for the next 10 days. There may be 2 or 3 days where it's not going to be raining, but it's going to be heavily overcast, lots of fog. Probably ain't going to see the sunshine for probably another 14, 20 days. I don't know. So, you know, the ground's not going to dry up. There's not a whole lot I'm going to be able to do otherwise, but I definitely don't want to leave them in that cage more than a couple weeks before I put them out on the grass. And that's just because of the, you know, the potential for them to still be on the ground and getting some grass and everything before the weather does get too bad, if it does even this year. January is usually when we see our more true winter weather, and we know it's not winter officially until like December 21st. You get the winter solstice, and then the days start to increase, and you know, daytime hours start to increase a little bit. But like I said, January, February are usually our coldest months here. So if I can even get them on the ground for a couple weeks or even a month, I mean, A, it puts them on vegetation. B, it gets them out of that cage. C, it cuts back on food costs. Because I want to tell you something, 7 bunnies in a daggone cage go through a lot of water and a lot of feed. So we're going to do that and try it out and see how it does. Now, to treat this wood, I'm not going to use any kind of chemical or anything on it. Once I get the frame and everything put together, I'm going to burn the wood. Now, I'm not going to build a fire. I'm going to use, and I can't remember if it's Sosugibon or Shosugibon. It's the Japanese method where you actually just char the wood. And this being pine, it'll char up real nice, and it'll help kind of preserve it, and it closes the cells and stuff. And it'll help preserve it a little bit longer, or at least extend its life, rather than leaving it just like this. Now, some people say you can use water-based paint and paint them. The rabbits are still going to chew on it. I'll just go ahead, and once everything's framed up together, then I'll go ahead and char it, clean it up a little bit, and go with that and see how that works out. I'm not painting. I'm not worried about anything like that. But we'll see how that works out and see, you know, if it improves the lifespan of it. I don't expect it to last 20 years, but hey, if I get 5 years out of it, that's fantastic. But that's it. I mean, like I said, I had to go back today to get all that stuff because with yesterday's running, the hustle and bustle, and it was crazy out there, and we had so much to do. I sat down last night and I went through over my list of stuff, and I thought, man, I need to get the fence. The fence is a lot more expensive at a hardware store. I need to get the braces. I need to get the hinges. Well, I know they have those at Rural King. I forgot the Timothy hay, so I have to go get the Timothy hay. And Menards had a competing price with Home Depot, where they were like $2.98 each for the 2x2s, where Lowe's was like $3.38 each. So I just figured, well, if I'm going to go to Home Depot to Rural King, I'll just go on down to Menards anyways. So it's 27 miles from my house to that place, and Menards is a mile from Rural King. So there you go. So close to 50-mile round trip, 60-mile round trip, and it's done and over with. Otherwise, I would have to go fight traffic in another place, probably 18 miles away. So take it for what it is. All right, that's going to be a short one today. I'm going to get this stuff inside, get it out of the way. I'm going to go get the Timothy hay into the bunnies and everything like that, and get things situated. And I just started a little fire in the wood stove just to kind of take the dampness out of the area. It's just enough of a chill because of the dampness, so that'll help, you know, warm the house up a little bit more without having to run the furnace as much. So that's it, folks. Get prepared, stay prepared. Take care, and God bless.